We get a lot of calls about when to bring up this conversation. And we don't have a one size fits all answer. It really depends on how old your child is, how many questions they're asking, what the communication dynamics are for the family and everyone involved. So when, we've had families with 4-year-olds who are starting to ask questions. And, what do you need to tell them today? What do they need to know today that's not going to cause them enormous anxiety or anticipatory grief, but at the same time, feel as though you're communicating honestly. So we encourage open communications, but we also suggest that you take into consideration your age of your child, their maturational level, and your family communication style, because it should work for everyone, with and for everyone. What is his or her style of communicating? Are they an introvert? Are they an extrovert? Would it be better to put a book in his or her room and say, hey, what did you think of the book? And do it that way? I feel like the most ineffective way is just to come out and say, let's talk about this, because, it's kind of like when your kids come home from school and you say, oh, how was school? Fine. What'd you do? Nothing. Really? You did nothing at school? So a piece of literature, a movie, but something that can be read or watched either as a family, or if it's an older child, independently. And then, what did you think about it? Because I think if it's cause and effect, like, let's read this and then discuss it, then it's another assignment. So you have to just kind of appeal to child's senses and to their personality through something of it that may interest him or her. I know one of the things we share at camp is Mackenzie Anderson was one of our campers. She lost her mom to ALS, and she's now a board member. And she wrote an essay about when her life was turned upside down. And it's a brilliant essay for a 17-year-old's perspective. To me, for a 16-year-old or 17-year-old to read that speaks so much more than for me to say, how are you feeling? Are you coping okay? And also being aware of who your children are and any behavioral changes that take place. And that can be in any situation, right? But as parents, we want to notice when things change, because when things change, something is taking place. Something is happening. It could be positive or it could be negative, but it's an awareness.